Good morning. I hope that you are well and beautiful this wonderful morning. I'm here in Portland, or actually officially in Beaverton at the moment, on a Portland weather day. We are starting a new series this week of questions and answers. The question was, how come I was so freely giving during the Enlightened Warrior Camp? And I will give some answers to that, put some words to that. There's always tons of things. What I'm just doing is giving you 7 ideas throughout the week. And this morning I wanted to start also with an explanation of what is behind the giving, what's on the other end. And the first piece, the words I want to give you are no resistance. Part of why I could be as freely giving as I am is just because there isn't resistance to that. On the other side of resistance is that I don't feel like I'm going to be at a loss of anything if I give. So that's something to think about. And I'll say this as well, in this world, we actually have an unlimited amount of abundance. We're not so limited by what we see in the material world either. And even if you think about it that way, we've been creating new money systems and we always print more money. And we can always find more gold. So I don't even think we need to have just a limited supply. But what often happens with this idea of resistance, one thing is when people give you a comment about yourself, it sort of takes you by surprise. You don't realize that because you've only been you and you're not seeing something in comparison. And so it's been interesting launching my GoFundMe campaign for my book and really the whole business around Healing Happens. And then to see people's response to my requests to understand a little bit more about what freely giving is. And I was thinking just very clearly about when other people have asked me for donations, and most of the time when I feel like I don't want to give, most of the time it's a feeling of contractiveness inside of me, or a feeling of fear, or a feeling of judgment for what they're asking for, which creates separation and for me creates agitation. Sometimes separation can give people wisdom because it's easier to see the other and understand more about life. But that's not how it necessarily works all the time, or for all of us. We're still going to have less agitation if we remove that separation and judgment. And then when I am just saying, okay, I'll give, then I'm feeling more expansive. But what's part of my thinking behind why I'm giving and giving? And the way that I think about it is that when somebody asks, when somebody wants something, it's a couple reasons. One is because they believe that they have a mission and a purpose in this life and something that they want to accomplish. And I like to help people get that way. And then the other side of that is that people are asking to be loved or to be valued. And so also giving feeds them that. A lot of the homeless people on the street, it's not necessarily about giving them money, right? Because a lot of them have habits anyways that might not use the money to help them be more productive and get out of the position that they're in. But the getting of the money is to help them feel valued and like they have some worth in this world and that somebody loves them. A lot of times they're out there doing that because their self-worth is so low that they need that affirmation from someone else. So when we give, and it's not much for us to give $1 to somebody on the street, then we're helping feed them in that way. And when we give $5 to a campaign, that's also not much to give. And then there's love that we could give with all of that. And even if we didn't have any money at all, it was really sweet. One of my friends, actually, she's been helping promote my campaign, and she said she doesn't have much money, and I told her, you know, even a $5 donation just helps put energy into the system because it gets the ball rolling. And the poor girl, she's like, I only have a few cents to my name in my bank account. She says, but next week I'm gonna get money and I'm gonna give you some money. And I said, don't give me money if it's gonna strap yourself. But most of the time we have $1 or $5 that we can donate to something. And then what we're also doing is, oh, maybe I'll save that comment for another video. Of course, there's so much that we can say about that. But the first thing I wanted to explain to you is that part of why I like giving, and I'm not thinking about what I'm giving to, because I'm really just giving to either somebody's desire to have their heart loved, or to feel valued, or feel enough, or feel worthy, or I'm giving to somebody because I'm helping them fulfill what they came here to do. And so I'm creating that energy flow for everyone. And there are times where it does feel contractive to me to give, so I do listen to that as well. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is, the other part is, I give if I have something to give. And one very easy way, if it's a money thing, to tell if you have something to give, since I've been helping with the Millionaire Mind Intensive, they explain this jar system, which is a way of dividing up your money into different categories, so that you can then know that I have enough money for my education expenses, I have enough money for my necessities, I have enough money to save for the car that I want, or the house that I want, or the vacation that I want. And then I've also been designating money in what we call the give jar. So then I know that I have enough money to give to charity, to other bigger causes. It's not gifts for friends, it's you know, something beyond that, but bigger causes that feed back into the universe. So that's another way to tell if you have enough. So if you want to give and then you're wondering how much to give, I often just listen to an intuitive voice and I give that number that comes to my head. But you can also very pragmatically just look at what's in that account and say, okay, I can give that. And then the last thing, I say this a lot, is when you feel resistance and when you feel contraction, is just to breathe. And if you have this moment of decision of if you're going to give or not, if you have time to decide, first thing is that we get caught up in the mind, which is usually what blocks us from giving, because I think our nature is to live in abundance and not lack, and to feel like there could be a natural flow. So breathing will just help you get past the mind. But when you are going to get a little more in the mind to make a decision, is stand in one spot and say, what does it feel like to give? And stand in another spot and say, what does it feel like to not give? And then you could feel the cells in your body. You can listen to the thoughts in your head. You can notice the way that you hold your body and decide which one of those you like more. So hopefully it gives you some ideas of how to get past resistance and freely give. They say that the channel is blessed by that which flows through it. So oftentimes when we give, we get blessings in return, which feeds us to keep giving more and more. So much love, many blessings, and I will see you early tomorrow morning. I'll probably just post a time, because I don't know what time I'm starting tomorrow either. Okay, bye-bye.